Hey, what's up, guys? It is your good friend Matt. We are back again here today at the only place that we always can be. And as you already know, that is Matt's Wrestling Collectibles right here on YouTube. Today, guys, a random video, something that I am throwing together here just after seeing this on Facebook the other day, and I said I wanted to come here and do a video on this, and just because I felt like it's a good way to tell the story and also show off a little bit of, my personal experience from it and why I think it's so beneficial in some ways, and I understand not everybody will feel that way, of course, because some people have, no desire to keep a package or a box when it comes to collecting, and you loose collectors, I envy you very much so, many days, because there is a lot of times where I would love to purchase something and not care about the fact that it doesn't have a box, but for me, a package means a lot, and I always like to have something, some type of just reference to what it may be, even if it's not complete packaging, just something, and even I've said that about buying damaged packages or packaging with some figures, as you guys may have seen in a recent new figure pickups episode. We just got that Miz, R-Truth, and Triple H 3-pack, that Walmart exclusive, and it was severely damaged, but they marked it down like $25. It was complete. Guys want to go check out that video, that would be episode, 92, 93 of new figure pickups, if you want to go check that out and take a look at what I'm talking about there. But here today, we are going to tell this little story. So I was on Facebook a couple of days ago, like I said, a few days back, and I was in one of the many wrestling figure groups that I follow. It happened to come across my main feed, and I saw what basically looked like a few people that were, I don't want to say being rude, but they were certainly being less than positive with another individual in this group. And as I read through some of the comments, basically what it was is somebody in the group was looking to sell off empty boxes. They had a ton of empty packages, ton of empty boxes. Some were in better condition than others. Some were completely destroyed. But neither here nor there, the individual that we are talking about, they wanted to see if anybody was interested in buying or maybe trading for these empty boxes. And comment after comment, so many people, throw them in the recycling bin, throw them in the trash, these aren't worth anything, so on and so forth, right? The comments continue to go, as you can imagine, some even nastier than others, unfortunately. And so as we continue to read through these comments, it made me realize that, unfortunately, as these people here are trying to say that these packages are worth nothing, that nobody would be interested in them, that nobody would have any desire to even purchase them, and that this person is crazy for selling empty boxes, I wanted to come on here today and show a couple of items that I have purchased by piecing things together, and that is including the packaging. So I always like to try to save the best item for last in these videos. I don't know if that is going to be the case in this for some of you. Maybe the first item will be the best item. Maybe the last one will truly be the best item. But we're going to go right into this here, and we're going to jump right into the very first one. And we're going to give the little story that goes with each of them. So first thing is first, we've got first time in the line Collector's Edition Elite Gorilla Monsoon. And as you guys can see here, this is fully complete. So he is fully complete in the package here, and the very easy story behind this one is that when I first got this figure in, it was in a lot, because as you guys already know, we have the Matt's Wrestling Collectibles, not only YouTube and group pages and all that, but we do have the store, the MERCARI store, up and running, and unfortunately, as much as I do miss seeing all those customers face-to-face every weekend, when I did have my store up and going, up and running for so long, so many years, and we had it in the flea market for a long time. We had it in the West Warwick flea market, and then we eventually moved ourselves over to the Cumberland flea market, the Ann and Hope flea market, if you will, in, Cumberland, Rhode Island. All right, guys, we're back. I apologize for that cut and that, I'm getting a little aggressive here on the tape, right? I'm trying to talk over everything, but I got dogs barking outside. I got things moving around in here, things shifting, falling off of things. I have no idea what's going on. It's the ghosts in the house. It's the dogs on the outside. It is just quite the night over here, and trying to record this video, for some reason, it just seems to be extra difficult here this evening, but we are making it work. So as I was saying, guys, as we get back to this finally here, I think we have finally gotten through all of these little diversions here and all these little things that are happening. Hopefully we'll get through the rest of this video with no hiccups. But as I was saying, we had many years doing this face-to-face in the flea markets, and I had my store up for so long, and obviously we still do the MERCARI stuff, and we do a lot of shows and local vending around here in Rhode Island. And if you guys are ever local, anybody seeing this, you can always reach out to me if you're looking for something, or you already know you can go to the MERCARI store. Link will be in the description and also the comments of this video. But in front of us here, we have Gorilla Monsoon, and I took him in on a loose lot. We purchased somewhere around about 450, maybe 500 loose figures in one shot, and this Gorilla Monsoon was in there. At the time, the Build-A-Figure that we most recently received had not been announced or discussed at that moment or at that particular point in time. And so I really wanted this. I said, man, this is such a great figure. I'm like, let me post it and see how much I can get for it. And then I will turn that around and put it towards buying, my own. And sometimes I do that when I get in a loose figure when I'm like, oh man, I really wanted this and I kind of forgot about it. So let me try to sell it, get what I can for it and flip it into, my own personal collection, like I just said. And with this Gorilla Monsoon, I said, you know what? Let me, just for the sake of it, let me look online and see if I can find the box for it. And this is where it all started for the rest of what you are about to see in this video. That's why I wanted to start off with this Gorilla Monsoon. But this figure had everything. It had the microphone, it had the hands, it had the extra suit jacket, the arms that are interchangeable. You can make him go from having that maroon suit to the all black. And then the glasses that are up in the top left corner, they're actually not the ones that came with him, but they are a significant replacement in my eyes anyway. So we put that in there, and everything was all together. So I took to eBay, went on there, looked up this exact thing, and, sure enough, there was a few people, more than one, selling an empty box for this figure. Shipped out the door to my front door, I paid about $17 for this box, empty box. And I got the Gorilla Monsoon in there now, and, just to give an idea, and of course it always depends on what I am purchasing, but this figure, all said and done, probably cost me less than $25, if not, at most, somewhere in the $25 to $30 range. And prior to that Build-A-Figure being talked about or released, this figure was going for just about $100 or close to $100 on eBay. So I would say it's a good deal. It's definitely a good way to collect if you're somebody like myself who's okay with the fact that it's been open. And I'll also show you guys the same thing here. This has all been open before. The tape is broken on the seal there. And, this is, like I said, it is a very cool way to add something like this to your collection. So now, with that being said, we jump into another collector's edition, Elite, of course, and it is none other than Jim the Anvil Neidhart. And this Jim the Anvil, the attire, I don't think we have seen on any other Anvil to this point. I do believe this is the only time that this attire was put out with the anvil that's on it and down the sides of the pants with the anvils there. And now, of course, there could be maybe a mix or a match of the tights and the tank top muscle style shirt there, if you will. There might be different combinations. We have seen that, but this exact combo, I don't believe we have seen one since. Of course, this did come with the jacket, the Hart Foundation, Hart family jacket there, as we had seen. I think Brett already had one. I think we did get the one with Davey Boy. We got the one here. I do believe we did get the one with the Brian Pillman. I would have to double check on that. I think Brian Pillman did have one as well. Now, I do not have the jacket for this anvil yet, but that is a piece that I am still looking to complete. Once that jacket is in there, this figure will be essentially all set and complete. But again, guys, I think when I looked this up at the time, now mind you, this was probably about 2 years ago, or roughly almost 2 years ago, that we had this big lot of figures come in. So I'm trying to, bring the memories back as best as I can here. But I believe around that time, this figure, again, was probably somewhere in like the $70, $75 range on eBay. So, once again, I paid somewhere around, I think it was like $10 or $12 for the box shipped. It was free shipping. I do remember that. And I think it was 10 or 11 bucks, and with tax and everything, I think it came out to like $12. And then yet again, with the cost of the figure, you're talking, I'm looking at about probably somewhere around $15 right now for this figure. And once we get the jacket in there, even if I have to pay another $15, to have this figure for 30 bucks, I think again, very much kind of the running game here. The Gorilla, like I said, 25 to 30. Once the jacket's in this, like I said, we'll go from probably that $15 price point that we're at right now up to that $25, $30 price point. And again, to complete a figure like this in such an easy way, how do you go wrong? But that's where I say, yet again, guys, to see those really hateful comments, it bothers me, only because there's so many people in this community that unfortunately are not in it for the right reasons. And some people say that to me when they see that I sell or resell. The only difference being is I've been a wrestling fan since 97, 98, as far as I can remember back, probably 98. I've been collecting or have been somehow obtaining wrestling figures since that same time, 98, right around there. Started the store, as I say all the time, in 2008, went to 2018 with my physical store that I had, and now to be doing this all these years again, or I should say all these years later to do it again, I've had multiple people that have reached out to me that are so happy to see that not only is, the channel back, that there's a group page on Facebook, because way back when I first started this, Facebook really wasn't even a thing. And then as it became a thing, there wasn't group pages. It was like just pages you could like or follow, and they weren't as interactive as they are now. And of course, with the store, so many other things, there's a big difference in it. So when I see people who are just in it to make hateful comments, or they don't really collect for themselves, but they'll go out and buy, 5 of the same figure just to turn around and sell it. I mean, granted, that's everybody's right to do so, and it is what it is, but it's always just a little bit more to me when I see people that I'm like, I don't really feel like there's a need for you to be in this community, if that's the outlook that you have on people who are, not even being rude about it either. The like I said, the individual that was trying to sell those boxes or looking to trade for something, I mean, they weren't being crazy or outlandish in any way. Majority of the boxes, I think they said they were looking to get, about $5 to $10 per box. And I mean, again, to what I've paid for the ones that I'm looking for, I'm sure the more rare the figure, the more desirable the package, but still, it's it wasn't crazy or out of this world as far as a price point. So either way, as we continue to go through this here, we have another collector's edition, and it seems like that is the going thing here, huh? All collector's editions are the figures that I wound up keeping, but here we go again. It's a first time in the line Elite Collector's Edition, and it is none other than Cassius Ono, or also known as Chris Hero. And again, what a figure to be able to get and to put in the collection for such a cheap price. So this one a little bit more, but still fair game. Like I always say to you guys, I'll be as transparent with all of you as I ever can be. I paid about $32 or $35 for this box shipped. It was, again, completely empty, nothing in it. And between the extra hands and the figure itself having all the accessories, which was, huge in and of it, just in and of itself to have all those accessories was what made me say, oh, okay, now I really want to keep this. And this all started with that Gorilla Monsoon. And then as I went through some of these figures, I'm like, you know what? There are a few in here that I know I could find these packages for. And again, when I found this, like I said, $32, $35 shipped with the figure inside the package all said and done, we're probably looking at less than $45 for this put together. And to be able to put this in the collection, again, another roughly $100, $100, and maybe on the other side of $100 too, the higher end, a little over $100. And to say that a figure has that, you know, resale value, and to be able to put it together and have it in front of you for, you know, less than half of that is always a great deal. And as Kyle Peterson would say, you got to get a deal. I know this isn't probably the way he would collect. I don't think this is the way he'd go about it, but still, this is a good way and an easy way for me to add certain guys to the collection. And I think Chris Hero, Cassius Ohno, definitely one that needed to be in there. And unfortunately, as far as I understand, I'd have to double check if my memory serves me correct here, first time and last time in the line. So unfortunately, we did not get another knockout artist Cassius Ohno figure. Very unfortunate, but again, this one is super cool, and for that price, you can't go wrong. Now this one here, this one I am still in the process of completing. I eventually will get there sooner or later. I know that I will. It's just going to take me a little bit of time, but either way, here it is. We got a battle pack from back in the day. It is none other than the man himself, CM Punk, who is playing the role of John Cena in this pack right now. And of course, the chairman of the board, the man who has given us quite the amount of memories over the years, regardless of what is going on in the current times. That all to be seen and determined, and we will, you know, talk about that when that day comes, as we've already talked about the allegations and said some other things that, you know, we've discussed here on the channel. But Vince McMahon, Mr. McMahon, the chairman of the board, Vincent K. McMahon, Vinnie Mac, so many names that we could say, but the boss nonetheless, and unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you're looking at it, no longer the boss of the WWE, and crazy to ever say that. Ever even, you know, saying it now for a couple of years, because Vince, crazy enough, has been gone now for a couple of years. It's crazy. It's just crazy to still say that. But here we've got Vince McMahon, Mr. McMahon in this battle pack. And we had this box, actually. I've had this packaging for quite some time. I had it saved. Had it for a really long time. Wound up getting the figure and the box and everything back together. It still needs CM Punk. It still needs another kendo stick. I am going to get that Punk eventually down the road. Not a huge big deal for me right now, but at some point I will get a CM Punk. That is the one that should go in there. Hopefully, maybe we'll, who knows, maybe we'll find one that's even better, a basic that's better than the one that's on there, considering it's similar to the ones that we've already received. Who knows? Maybe we'll see what happens. Either way, we're going to get a Punk in there. And this will be somewhat, if not completely, complete, depending on what that Punk may be. But Vince McMahon in here, and again, this figure loose, I think going somewhere around $35-40, somewhere in that range. So to have him in here, and as of right now, this is only costing me around about $5. So $5 right now. We'll see how much it goes up to after we get another kendo stick and a CM Punk figure in there, especially if it is the right one. But we'll see where it goes from here. But about $5 total investment on this at the current moment. So I'm very happy for this. Very happy to have this Mr. McMahon in the collection, as it is the only one of the modern, more, you know, older style McMahon that I have. I also do have his Build-A-Figure from that WrestleMania 3 McMahon set there with, it was Bret, Austin, I think Shawn Michaels. I can't remember who the fourth person was. Who was it there? It was Bret, Austin, Michaels, and, cannot think of that right now. It is, I don't know. Could have been Rey Mysterio. I'm not sure. But either way, we got CM Punk missing in action, playing the role of John Cena. We got Mr. Vincent Kennedy McMahon on the right-hand side here. And before I get any more tongue-tied, we're going to pull this one off the block, and we're going to hit you with what I consider to be the best for last. Now, again, on a previous time where I took in a big collection, I had these figures in there. All three of them in there. No box, of course, all loose. I said, let me go to eBay. If I can find the box right now, I said, I will purchase it right this second. And if I can't, they will go up for sale, and that will be that, right? Well, here it is, none other than one you've seen many times on the channel, and you've seen it in many of the videos as far as walking around the room. It is a front and center piece as it sits in front of my TV area over here. And what is it? Of course, you see it right in front of you right now. It's the Undisputed Era. Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, and Adam Cole, and this is the NXT Undisputed Era, one of what I would say one of maybe the greatest 3-packs that they have made from Mattel. And I say that because it is just such a cool 3-pack in and of itself. The design, the look, the fact that all 3 of them have the shirt on, great attires, very, very nice figures here. And as I've already said, we've got Kyle O'Reilly, we've got Adam Cole, we've got Bobby Fish, and of course, we're missing one, but that one was by itself in the Elite Collection, Mr. Roderick Strong. We are going to get him very, very, very soon and complete this 3-man to become 4-man group. But in front of you guys, as I say it, this package, these figures, all completed by putting the stuff together. I mean, of course, having these shirts on them already was easy enough, but either way, this pack right here, all together, the figures ran me somewhere probably around $10 to $12, and I purchased the box, I believe, for somewhere around about $25, maybe $28. Either way, roughly $40, all said and done, and that was much cheaper than what they were going for on eBay at that point in time anyway, about 2 years ago, like I said. So, very cool, very excited, happy to have this in the collection. It is what I would say is the best of the best in this video. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there is one over there that I do like a little bit more. And of course, that Cassius Ono, I am so happy to have that in the collection, especially for that price. But either way, I just wanted to make this video not as a direct response. Obviously, I'm not going to post this to the Facebook group or try to find that post. I could really care less about that. But in regards to just the whole situation, when you do see people posting empty boxes or random things that go to whatever and whatever it may be, always just remember there is a buyer out there for everything, and somebody is looking for that item. Whether you know it or not, there is somebody out there who is looking to find that exact item. So here we have it. To end it off, Undisputed Era. This is, like I said, a great box set, and so happy that I was able to piece this one together. And hopefully, in the future, maybe we will piece some other figures together, depending on what we get in some of those buyouts and what gets brought to me. So, who knows? We will see as time continues to roll on. But I will tell you this, for another episode here on the channel of just whatever it may be, because there is no real title to this one, but for all the other ones that we do, whether it's new figure pickups, whether it's, store hunts or whatever it is, already know. It's all kinds of stuff here. We're always doing something. We're always having fun. And I hope you guys had fun watching this video here today. If you did, get over to the channel, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell icon, because you already know that's how you're going to hear about every video I drop, which is going to be each and every single day, because we are dropping a video on this channel each and every single day. You heard it here first, and will you hear it here last? I don't know. Find out in the next video. Until then, guys, I appreciate each and every single one of you. Stay safe, stay tuned, and I will see you all in that next video.